miles all around. Neons are flashing about music and passion all over town.
Tour starts early. Right now it's 6 a.m. Two guys here still on last night.
Happy birthday.
For always, for everyone, here's to Las Vegas. And I'm here to stay.
The tour ranges around the central mountainous states, Nevada, Utah, Wyoming, the Dakotas, et al., several thousand miles over 2 weeks before returning here to Vegas. We'll have 3 more days after that on the town. Should be great.
We are on the Las Vegas Strip right now, Las Vegas Boulevard. Before the days of interstate highways, this was the highway to Los Angeles from downtown Las Vegas. The first really big growth phase of Las Vegas was in the 1930s, where most of the supplies were brought through down to build Hoover Dam. As the country's moral acceptance of gambling changed, corporations started buying into these properties. They have open books. Is a more regular industry today. See Las Vegas from up top. The only structure in North America taller than the stratosphere is the CN Tower in Toronto. For those of you not from the United States, the interstate highway system was the brainchild of Dwight Eisenhower when he went into Germany at the end of World War II and saw the Autobahn system. He's like, hey, we need one of those. And thus the interstate highway system in the United States is called the Eisenhower Interstate System. Now, we're going to be stopping in St. George here in just a little bit. Now, St. George is named after George A. Smith. Because we have come on to this area called the Colorado Plateau. So all these rocks range from 120 to 180 million years in age. There was molten rock below the area, and it just kind of squirted, oozed up onto the surface. These lava flows are not the result of big explosive volcanoes. They're the type of volcanoes where it just kind of oozes out onto the surface, much like in Hawaii or Iceland. All movement of all the sediment is all downward.
So, if I've understood correctly, these mountains aren't mountains at all, because over millions of years, an enormous plateau, the Colorado Plateau, was first pushed upwards, then the rains and the rivers eroded the softer soils to form this spectacular landscape. These little shuttle buses are there to help visitors see more of the park, with stops alongside the winding river.
That's a pain in the eye.
This part of Zion, huge canyons, gorgeous. The feel of a lost world, hidden among the giant peaks all around it.
It's what's called a false arch, though, because it's actually, you can't see right through it. I think this portion that we're coming into is the more beautiful side of Zion. You can see how the sandstones got deposited in this area as wind-blown sand. There's never any major drainage here. Now, as you look at the rocks in front of us, it is a perfect example of what are called Aeolian sandstones. All this sand got deposited as sand dunes. Would have been something like the Sahara. So we're coming through an area which is called Red Canyon. And there are a couple of features up here which are called the salt and pepper shakers.
Make a move.
We're here at Bryce. It's not actually a canyon, it's a whole series of giant amphitheaters.
Okay, very nice.
The giant rock pillars are called hoodoos. It's a strange effect, they seem transparent in this morning sunshine.
Oh, that's a photo. Anybody?
You stand over here for me with your back. Don't stand too close.
Spectacular rocks, red, orange, white. Native Americans, the Paiute, describe the hoodoos as legend people, bad people, frozen in time. Temple Square, one of the most visited attractions in all America.
I'm Sister Deiges, and I'm just from Idaho. But I'm Haitian, so.
Okay, just help us to feel welcome.
I'm Sister Manigan, I'm from Armenia.
We will show you the highlights and also share with you the history and also the basic belief for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. We have a wonderful card that we have. And during the tour, you can ask us questions. We would love to answer as much as we can. Okay, we will start from that right side, the beautiful gray building.
The Tabernacle is, of course, home to the very famous Mormon Tabernacle Choir.
I am Jesus Christ. I created the heavens and the earth and all things that in them are.
This large house, the Lion House, home to the most famous and notorious of all Mormons, Brigham Young, home to his 24 wives and 57 children. Joseph Smith, the founder and the first president of the Latter-day Saints. Shopping here for warmer clothes because the weather's on the turn. We're heading due north 300 miles to Jackson, Wyoming.
But in 1803, the United States made an enormous land purchase, 530-some million acres. It was called the Louisiana Purchase, and went all the way from New Orleans into what is today Idaho. Meriwether Lewis enlisted the assistance of William Clark, set out from St. Louis to find out what the United States had purchased. They made written record of the rivers and the mountains, and that Idaho was full of beaver. At that time, pelts of beaver is what they made top hats out of. Well, they used to process beaver pelts with mercury. Mercury would, by osmosis, go into your brain and you'd go crazy from it. So that's where the expression of Mad Hatter comes from. But
Rain and wind and weather.
What is it?
It's a crane.
All the things I'm missing, good victuals, love and kissing.